Evening all. Been doing some fishing around and measuring and different things after the cable stretched earlier. Quite interesting what I found. But I was just about to sort of start doing a video and I had to swap my mount off the sight again onto the tripod and undoing that nut and bolt. I got a bit fed up with doing that, so I've nicked the Picatinny rail off my X sight and put on the tripod. Make life a bit quicker when you need to swap around. So, what I found is all my measurements everywhere to centre were all good. So I measured all my clamps and everything, and they're all the same. So then I did a pull test on the limbs, and that's where it got interesting, because I've always found when I string this up and I put my cables in, it's always a little bit tighter to get that over there on this side than it is on the left. And this cable is still 170, but the one that gave earlier on the left is now 175. But this blue and white string is the strongest I've got, because I did a brake test on the whole load earlier. And I've only got a little tiny piece of that left on the rail. But I've got some recurve strings made that I can take apart and rob that to make some new cables. But yeah, this right side, I've got 6 pounds more pressure on this side than this side. So what I'm now going to do is make a shim from my good old favourite bank card. Drill a hole in it and add a little bit more pressure on this side. Because when I had the 8 and the 9, 16 and 18 strand cables in, it broke on this side when I was cocking it, and because I made 20 strand, it stretched that one when it fired. So it's just that slight imbalance of poundage. So it didn't matter when they were recurved, because there isn't so much going on. But I compare these compound to a car, really. You make one bit strong and just see what's gonna break next. So yeah, shim that out and then pull these strings apart, make some new cables, and hopefully then we should be good. So I'll do that and get it back together. It's going to take a little bit longer because I've just noticed there's an awful lot of playing these back hinges. Not quite as much on the left, but still unacceptable. So I'm gonna have to take the limbs off, knock them pins out, drill a 7mm hole and put a brass sleeve in there. God, everything wear on these. Yeah, that's definitely not good. More work. Yeah, this right hand one was so loose I pulled it out by hand. You can see those splines in there. That riser would have been made in the cast with these in place, and that's worn that much, that's worn this whole egg shaped, and you can see where that's chewed those spline marks out. Yeah, an egg shaped hole ain't much cop. So I'll drill that out now and press a piece of brass pipe in there. That'll cure that problem. So I've drilled these out now. Put the brass bushes in. Now they're tight. Rock solid. Spin nice and freely, but there's no movement. That's another little job ticked off the list. If you've got one of these, you might have noticed by now that your bolts keep coming undone, especially at the back and then the cams. I super glued mine and they still kept coming undone. So put a longer bolt in through the other way. Put a lock nut on the back. haven't had any problems with anything coming undone since I done that, on the bag or on the cams. Oh yes. Where has all that play gone? Now every part of that is solid. Cool, that's lovely. Right, now breaking the cable issue. Hopefully by putting that spacer on there, rather than bothering unstick these and put a packer behind them and put extra stress on the limb, I'll do it this way. Just put one in. Do it every time. This is like one of those high performance race cars that you get an hour or two's fun out of driving it, and then spend God knows how many hours fixing it. But hopefully soon that will be changing. yes. Oh goodness. What a transformation. Apart from I can even make that riser flex with my hands. So you can imagine what these do. There's some power in them. But you can see that riser pulling inwards. And bolts get closer together. Well, that's lovely. Now all I need to do is pull these apart and get myself some new string. Make 2 new cables. And we'll try again. Right, got the new cables made and then gone for 22 strand this time. Got my little black timing mark there, dead centre of the string, dead centre of the track. Got my 2 little hairs of the cam sticking out the same distance. Now I've got that little bit of extra tension on this side. This isn't quite fitting like it did. It's alright. See some. There we have it, all back together. That's the plate I made to reinforce that crack. I did make one for this side, but I didn't bother fitting it because it didn't break. And it just seemed that everything was breaking on this side. But now I know why. Newton's third law again. Stronger limbs this side. Putting more on that side when you fire it. When you cock it, you're putting more stress on this side. Hence that was breaking the weaker strings. All good fun. I'll be looking on the cams. Sitting down lower than they did now. So since earlier, I clocked it at 265 with a 280 grain. Now I've got it back together. Just for putting those brass bushers in and getting the tension right between the 2 limb sides. That's gone down now. Oh no, actually that's still a little high. But the first one I put through it, the cables have obviously settled now. The first time I put that 283 there, that went 279. So that's settled now, but cool, now I've put those brass bushes in here and got these balanced. That feel as smooth, well, the smoothest I've ever felt. Rock on. I think I might have finally got there. Might be able to finish my test with those bolts now tomorrow.